Hi, what's up guys? So we've brought you this weekend to Brinscall Woods. It's another area of dogman sightings. So we're going to do a daytime walk through the woods and show you a few of the areas, and then we're going to come back tonight to do our investigation and to have a fire pit. So we're back from the USA and we're loading that stuff up, and we're going to be loading this stuff up over Halloween, October as well. So there's going to be a mix of stuff to come. So come with us on this walk through Brinscall Woods, Lancashire. Now look at these mushrooms growing all over the back of this tree. It's autumn now and it's like, I think it's the most popular time to find these mushrooms.
You get a lot of different kinds, don't you?
Yeah. Alright, so we'll have a walk through Brinscall Woods and we'll talk a little bit about dogman stuff. Which way do you want to go? That way or that way?
It's a bit steep, isn't it?
Alright, do you want to go that way?
Yeah,
then?
we'll go.
So we're just going to have a walk around and see what the area's like first, and then we're going to come back tonight, listen out, bring the thermal camera, see if we can see anything. So we're not too far, we're about 5 miles maybe from Tockholes, the area where we were doing paranormal that night, and we picked up the dogman sounds at 3 AM in the morning. So since then we've chatted to some local people who've had cryptid sightings, dogman experiences, and we're following up with those areas to see if we can get anything. But we're just scouting out during the day now, taking you for a little autumn woodland walk, and then tonight we'll come back after dark and we'll set up to listen out. Okay, so we found some deer prints. So it looks like there's deer coming through here. This must be one of the deer tracks. That's the kind of thing we need to look out for, because anything that wants food is gonna use deer as prey. There's some more mushrooms.
Well, this is a well-known area for people, dogman sighting. There's quite a lot of people who've had experiences through here, not just at night, but people during the day just passing through it. Some people have been coming home from work, come through this way as a shortcut, and they've seen things that they can't explain, and they're well documented. It's all the whole of this area is just one big area of different sightings, and that's the thing. A lot of them seem to be different accounts of different things. So is it the same thing and people are giving different descriptions, or are they different things? It's just, this whole area is just one hotbed of stuff, so there's definitely something going on.
Yeah, so the plan is we're going to follow up on some of the local sightings. That it's like, I do believe these people when they come along and say they've seen this or they've heard that, because when you have it happen to you, it's a really frightening experience. And I'm going back to what happened to us at Tockholes. It's pretty creepy when you're out in the middle of the night in the pitch dark and you're like filming something else, and then unexpectedly you get some sounds you don't really think you're going to get. Okay, so when we were in Boston a couple of weeks ago, we were talking to a guy who runs his own Bigfoot, goes out at night time. They're called Squatchachusetts, if you want to look them up and subscribe, because they do just short clips of footage. And they also do some podcasts for radio and stuff like that about their experiences. So what they said, we were talking to them about dogman. He said, the main guy, the lead investigator, said, look, if you're getting something that you don't understand, you must follow it up and follow it through. He said, because what happened with us, if people have heard of the Bridgeport Triangle in the Massachusetts area, which is really a big place for U.F.O sightings. So these guys had just gone out fishing on the river, but over there they go fishing for sort of 3 nights, because they go well off the beaten track and they take all their stuff, and they'll spend 3 nights just fishing, and they'll have like a log cabin or a tent or whatever. So they were out on a fishing expedition, And as they were fishing, one of them looked up and looked across and saw like two pinpricks of light shining, like two piercing torchlights. So between them they discussed it and they shouted out, and there was no reply. They thought that maybe there were some fisher people on the other side of the bank, and it wasn't that. So they got a different camera and they zoomed right in, and they could see an outline around these two piercing pricks of light, which meant for them that it possibly was a Bigfoot. So they have loaded up this footage onto the Massachusetts website, YouTube site, if you guys want to have a look and see what footage they've been getting over there. So we had a bit of a discussion with the guys, and they said, look, if you're getting dogman stuff over in the UK, or you know you've had your own experience over in the UK, get out there at night and follow it up, because really it is worth it. And as much as we believe in the Bigfoot in USA, they also believe in dogman in UK. They're following that quite, you know, with people's channels. So I think we definitely need to follow up this cryptid thing over here in Britain, because it's happening so much now and to so many people. Okay, so we're gonna head on up to the area where people have camped out.
Why do you always get me in the bad position?
Because I want to show people that you really are that keep fit kind of person when you put your mind to it.
They don't see me afterwards.
Anyway, let's get on up this path and see, follow this trail. And we're looking for a good spot really, out of the way for tonight, so we can, yeah, it's quite high up now, we can set up a fire pit and run the therm and then just see. Literally I'm going to go off my hearing, because the thing we heard barking and howling up at Tockholes, which if you've watched our previous footage you'll know I've described it as American werewolf in London in the tunnel. That's what it sounded like. And since then we've been like well on it, you know, we're all over it now. We're like, we want to know what that was. I think mostly because when you're out in the night, whether you're doing paranormal or whether you're just going for an overnight hike or whatever, you want to know what's out there. You want to know the possibilities of what you're going to encounter. Got to keep yourself safe, guys. We're just having a look at some of these prints. It looks like a run-in shoe. I think these are just runners that have gone through, but you've got to check it out just to make sure it's not something else. I'll carry on up. I'll keep going up. Yeah, so we just like to check when there's a few footprints about. Not only if there's anything unusual, but also have we got like deer, because that's a good indicator that if there's deer, then there's food.
Yeah.
So there's going to be creatures that need to feed. Some places people have been coming across like carcasses of sheep, bones and all that, so these dogmen creatures, if they are around us, they do need to eat, you know, they need to feed. I think there's been quite a few, 3 or 4 farms over Winter Hill now that have had issues with, you know, sheep just being ripped apart and found dead in the morning. Not like the cattle mutilations, but kind of like something's wanted to tear them apart and have something to eat.
Yeah, the footprints we found at Winter Hill, they were strange because they were unusual, because I think there was 6 toes, and we looked and looked and looked at it, and other people I know have been and had a look to see what it was, and they said the only thing that resembled it was a tiger, which I'm pretty sure you don't get a tiger up at Winter Hill.
But it goes with the cat theory, doesn't it? The people have been seeing cats up there.
Yeah, but like we looked at it and we said, a dog wouldn't put his foot on top, its 2 front feet on top of each other, which it was a strange thing, and it was just by chance we saw it, but nobody seems to be able to explain what kind of animal it was or how it is.
So if anybody wants to see that footage, we shot it at dawn and we've put it down as strange footprint found on Winter Hill. So we're probably going back about 18 months. If you look back, it is dawn footage, and you can see that footprint that we found. Coming again to a muddy area, so I'm going to film again for prints. Just keep your eye open, Andy, if you see anything unusual. Always worth checking the ground. And really we should also be checking the trees, because some people have experienced cryptid type mammals up in the trees, swinging from branch to branch like orangutans, like monkeys. So you need to have your eyes all about you really when you're doing cryptid stuff. I know in America they get the feeling they're being watched when there's a Bigfoot around. And you know, perhaps dogman's the same. Perhaps dogman or whatever other cryptid we're dealing with is also, you know, just watching and waiting and looking about to see why people are here and what people are doing here.
Although people have been scared, no, you've never heard of anybody being attacked by one.
No, there's not been any cases.
In all recorded history, you've heard things being thrown, you've heard people hearing growls and grunts and howls, but you've never heard of anybody being physically attacked. In fact, it's quite the opposite really. There's a lot of occasions where people have been lost and people have been out and about and they've suddenly realised they've no torches. The thing has followed them down, and because it's been sort of ushering them one way, they've gone one way and they've suddenly realised that they've got to a safe place where they know where they are, and it's been like a guardian. And that's on numerous occasions that people have documented that they were scared and they were chased by something, but they were chased in the right direction from an area where they had no torches, they got lost and they were chased to a safe place. So is it obviously something that's watching out for people? It isn't as aggressive as people think.
Go on, you can do it. Head, shoulders, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes.
What you wearing?
Head, shoulders, knees and toes.
Oh, don't go down that far.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes.
Oh.
Alright, go on, I'll show you. Let's see if
Show
I can
us
give me some limbo dance under.
If you want a limbo dance,
Limbo dance.
let's have a look.
Are you ready?
It's
So you go
steeper.
backwards and you go under like that when you're limbo dancing.
You're not supposed to hold on to anything.
You're not supposed to fall flat on the floor neither.
It's a short, long hill, so I can...
So we'll go this way.
It's alright, I'll film you sliding all the way down to the
I
bottom.
think my Strictly Come Dancing days are over.
I'll
My
film.
spinning around on my head days are well over by now.
I'll film you sliding all the way down to the bottom.
I'm sure that will happen at some point. Okay, so what do I think about the strange footprint at Winter Hill? Well, it was totally unexpected, I know that much, because we'd just done a paranormal shoot at Belmont Church and the sun was coming up, so I said to Andy, let's go and have a walk up further up Winter Hill and just have a look at the sun coming up. It's nice this time of year. So we just parked up and we were just walking around. Then we did get talking about Dogman, and we got talking about mysterious footprints with no knowledge that this footprint was going to be there. So in a way I wonder if we didn't get led to find that, because as we walked down the track and we're talking about different things, we suddenly spotted this footprint on the floor, and to me it looked like a huge dog print with 6 toes and long claws coming off. Now, like Andy says, a lot of people that have seen it are saying it looks more like a cat print, and there has been the cat sighting on Winter Hill and round about that area. So whether it was the cat or whether it was a dogman print, I don't know, but it was a really strange thing to find, especially at dawn when you finished the night's shoot and you're just winding down ready to go home for a sleep, and then you suddenly find. So really, I think always keep your eyes and your ears open about you, whether it's day or night. You could get strange, unusual things happening, mysterious things, and even including ghosts during the daytime can occur when you least expect it. Alright, so we think we've found the area for tonight's fire pit. This looks like a pretty good area. So we're going to come up here tonight. We'll walk up and we'll film as we come up and see here if we get anything, and then we'll set the fire pit up and cook some sausages, see if we get anything turning up. And literally just going to listen out, because what happened to us at Tockles, we didn't see anything visually, but it was definitely a sound that we could not identify. I'll look about for any evidence of any dead birds or any possible dead animals that anywhere in this woods really. I do sometimes feel though when you're doing cryptid, you get led to find things. I sometimes believe that if they want you to know about them, then they will lead you to those areas where they are. And then you start questioning, are they creatures from UFOs? Are they hybrid creatures that we're making here, you know, in various laboratories scattered about the world? Or are they just a natural thing? But the cryptid thing, it's really been more sort of the last decade. Before that, nobody really heard of them much. And lately, everybody who you talk to has had an experience of some kind or another.
Yeah, going back to that at Tocos, it was the weirdest thing ever. I mean, to me, it started off like a dog and then sounded more ape-like. It was like as though it was like barking at first, and then it was like a pant, like a which was strange because your brain tells you that there's nothing about, there's no wild animals around that area that should sound like that. So it's still out for debate what it was, but nobody seems to be able to tell us what they think it is, or any reasonable explanation of what it is. We've gone through, I mean, hundreds of noises of different animals native to this area, this country, that would be around that area, and nothing comes even close to it. Birds, wild animals, everything, domestic animals or anything, and I've not heard anything up to now that comes anywhere near it. So anyway, I'm going to put it on at the end of this video, let you have a listen, and maybe somebody somewhere, if somebody actually knows what it is, brilliant, but nobody seems to be telling us what it is.
The higher up we get, the more up Winter Hill we're going, and the windier it's getting. And I think that Bigfoot and dogman are like other animals in summer. They will go on high ridges, high mountain plateaus, and then when it gets to autumn or winter, they'll start coming down to lower levels for shelter and warmth. So I do believe in autumn and winter you've probably got a bit more chance of capturing something, because they're probably coming down to find somewhere warm and dry and safe to hide out, like all animals hibernate. Is there any reason why dogman or Bigfoot shouldn't hibernate? We don't know enough about these creatures. We've not been able to study them because they're very elusive. You know, you think you've got something and then you follow it up and it's gone. And a couple of the large Bigfoot channels in America, such as Expedition Bigfoot, have actually stopped filming now, because it appears that they've found something and the government are not allowing them to put that out. So I think when you get a really big program such as Finding Bigfoot or Expedition Bigfoot suddenly, you know, grinds to a halt and stops filming, makes you wonder why. What have they found? Have they finally found the answer? And is the government threatening them? You know, you don't put the footage out, because halfway up Winter Hill now, so on the way back down I'll show you a picture of where we are, and you can see how high up we've climbed now. But you need to get to these regions if you want to get cryptid. Now, as we've said in previous shoots, and we're going to say it again in this one since we're searching for dogman again, when we were at Tockholes at the Hollinshead Hall derelict well house and hall ruins that night, we'd gone to do a paranormal. We hadn't even thought about cryptid. Obviously we follow it on YouTube and on documentaries, but we didn't even think to do it. And that night we separated up to do separate vigils, and what I heard was like two wild dogs barking and fighting all along the path. And I sat down and I'm thinking, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, okay, people do all night dog walks and things, and I'm expecting to see torchlights, I'm expecting to see headlamps, voices, whatever, animals, dogs, nothing. And then Andy filmed his 6 minutes of shocking noises, which we'll put on the end of this video once again for those people who haven't seen it yet. He ran down to me and said, what the hell are them noises? By then it had turned into like a howl. The best way I can describe it is the film American Werewolf in London, where he's howling in the tunnel. That's the best way I can describe it. We sat together, we switched everything off, put everything into pitch dark, and just sat completely still for about 20 minutes. And these noises went on for 20 minutes, and it sounded like we didn't record that because we wanted to just keep silent and still, because at that point we didn't know if something was going to attack us or not. We had like one on this side and one on that side, and they seemed to be moving closer together, and then when they met it all went completely quiet, and it sounded like Jurassic Park. One was shouting back in this whatever noise language they were using, and it was the freakiest experience ever. And since that night I have 100% believe now in dogman, cryptid, Bigfoot and any other things that people claim that they're seeing. Alright, so we're heading back down now. Through the trees over there you can see part of the hills, so you can see how high up, you know, we've climbed. I'll show you a little bit further round. So you do need to get to these levels, I think, really, to have these encounters. And I always talk to campers. You know, you get people camping all through the summer in different areas, and I always have a chat with campers and students and whatever, and say, have you had anything weird happening, you know? And even some people just describe seeing like a shadow figure, and that is enough. I mean, that is enough to freak you out and make you run, you know, to see a shadow figure. But all of this stuff, that is a normal animal that you can hear in background. It sounds like a bull or a cow or something, because the sperms back. What does that sound like to you, Andy? A bull or a cow or something?
Sounds like a cow.
But don't they keep bulls on their own? You once said
Bulls normally they're on their own. Or is it sheep?
maybe.
Might be sheep.
Yeah.
But then again, saying that, tell you, this time of year, getting towards this time of year, most of animals are inside.
No, well, that sounded like a bull or a cow or
Because of the
something.
weather. I would say probably now, cows are inside.
Really? Oh, well, it's still making a noise, whatever it is.
I would have said cows are more likely to be inside this time of year, knowing from my past experience.
Alright, so it's always worth filming around on the way down anyway, just in case we see something. You know, we might miss it with our eyes, but we could see it later on when we watch the footage back. Yeah, I can still hear it going off. Not sure if it's a cow or a bull. Alright guys, so what we're going to do, we're going to leave it there, and then we're going to come back tonight. So we're going to cut to night footage now. Okay guys, so we've come back up to Bryn Woods Dogman Forest, one of the Dogman Forests. We've set the fire pit up. Andy's going to run thermal camera, see if we can pick anything up. We saw a couple of deer running about earlier on, so let's see. I'll still be thermal camera in a minute. Let me go back there. See if we can see anything. Kind of two-legged really, innit? I think you may get... Would you get warmth from the trees? Because they look like trees, warmth sources.
It's not cold.
Yeah. But I mean, would the trees give up like a warm source like that?
They might do.
I think they would, because there's nothing going to be, unless we see a definite figure.
Yeah.
There's not going to be anything, is there? Yeah, so this is one of the most popular regions for looking for dogman up here. We have a handful of forests now up here. Tockhole's where we were, Rivington, popular one. This one, Brinscore. There's a couple of other forests between here and Chorley where people have had strange cryptoid and dogman sightings. So it's a lovely clear night, all the stars are out. So we're gonna tonight's the perfect night, really. Not seen the moon yet, so I don't know if it's either a new moon or if it's just not risen yet. We've been in America for the last 2 weeks, so I'm a little bit out of touch with what time the moon comes up and stuff. This is how pitch dark it is, guys. Obviously, it's the middle of the forest, and we've only got our own light in and the fire, which we're going to cook some sausages and see if we can entice something to come along and join us. So Andy's going to run therm for a bit, and we're just going to keep quiet and listen, because you know, I sometimes think when you're just talking all the time you miss the really lovely sounds of the night. And it's so still. Not heard any owls yet, have we? But there's no moon. I always find the owls come when the moon's up and they've got a bit of light. I didn't hear any today, really. Not for a sunny autumn day. There wasn't any, was there?
No, it wasn't.
So we'll just have to run therm here and there and see if we get anything. We know there's deer up here because we've seen them, so we might get that. But basically, just listen out for any growling sounds, any dog barking, or anything unusual, really, innit? But we're going to keep an eye on up the trees as well, the top bit, because some people have caught lights in the trees. You know, some people have actually filmed lights up in the trees, so we'll do a bit of that as well and make sure that anything comes at all. So Andy's running therm. How do you feel about this place?
At the moment, alright. How are you?
I think for me it's not so much the creatures in the forest, the creatures of the night, it's more the dickheads in the street that concern me. Because, do you know what? When we were over in the States, right, everybody is so friendly and so warm and so welcoming, and they're all, hi, how are you? And they're all chatting and all that, and everybody's lovely. You get back to the UK and you're just met with animosity literally almost everywhere you go, and you think, what the hell is wrong with the British? Not just the British English people, I mean just anybody who lives in Britain in general. What the hell is wrong with the attitude here completely? You feel it, don't you, when you come back? I do. I mean, alright, I don't mean at work, like, because they're all your friends and you know, but it's just, I'm talking about just in general. You don't get this over there, do you? And you feel it when you come back. So for me, I'm not really bothered about being in the woods at night. I'm more concerned about the dickheads that's lurking about down there in the street. Okay, so we're running this flute music, panpipe music, because we think this might attract forward something, some animal or maybe even some cryptid in the forest. Now look out for eye shine. If we get bright white torches, that'll be deer. Bright white torch lights dancing around, we've learned now, tend to be deer. A little walkabout. Can't even call out. We've said this before when we've been looking for cryptids, haven't we, Andy? You can't even call out and say, is anybody there? You can only go off your instincts and what you're picking up.
Mm-hmm. You can hear, do you?
No. You've just got to spend a bit of time out here in the night, aren't you, and listen and see.
Yeah.
Anything wants to show.
Quiet at the moment.
At the minute. The stars, it's beautiful tonight. The stars are all out. You can just see them peeping through the trees. Alright guys, we're just going to have a little walk up. Give you a feel for the woods. It's actually really nice and calm and peaceful, to be honest. Don't feel creepy or scared or anything at all. And I think sometimes how you feel plays a big part in how your night goes in these places. If you turn up feeling like freaked out and creeped out, then you will be. If you come feeling calm, then you know you're okay. And it's like, to be honest with you, we've just been watching back-to-back Ancient Aliens, like we always do when we're passing time between daylight hours and dark. And they were doing some stuff about the moon and how apparently when they landed on the moon between 1969 and 1973, when they fired the rocket boosters to the moon rang like a hollow bell for 3 hours and wasn't meant to do that. So the questioning now, is the moon actually hollow or is it made of rock? So we were watching a lot of stuff about the solar system, and I think that usually is like a nice peaceful thing to watch. Sometimes I just feel really chilled out and in tune with everything. It all depends really. But the thing is, in Britain, we don't have bears or anything like that in the woods here. All we have is foxes, deer. You know, maybe further up in Scotland you're going to get like larger animals, but you're not going to get... The only thing that could make that sound that we heard is something we don't know about.
I mean, it could be some animal that's escaped or somebody's had as a pet that's got too big and we've just let it out.
What, there was 2, remember?
And it's... See that puts to rest that story that if it's somebody as a pet, it's got too big and they've let it out, what are the chances of it meeting something that's of a similar breed?
See, that all happened back in the 70s. That was 50 years ago when people let the wild animals loose.
Can two big cats, two apes, breed together? Because it would mean two.
It sounded like a pair.
Nature doesn't figure though, does it?
No.
Do you know what I mean?
It definitely sounded like a pair. And for those people that want to know what we're talking about, we're going to run that footage at the end of this video, the shocking noises that we picked up at Tockholes. It's only 5 miles away from here, the other side of the hill really. So we're in the same region. And you can watch that and listen to it yourself, and then you'll know, if you haven't seen it already, what we're talking about.
Nature says two animals of a different breed can't mate together.
But what about this hybrid business that's supposedly going on? I mean, you look at these cryptids around the world, right, what people are witnessing everywhere, and you think the crossbreeds of animals that shouldn't be bred together, like the Montauk monster that washed up on Long Island Beach, it's half dog, half fish. What the hell, you know, is there anything deep down in the ocean that can be like that?
That's what makes you wonder. Is it something that's escaped from some scientific
Well,
place?
it's either laboratories here on Earth or it's UFOs, hybrid mixing different DNAs together and seeing what they can produce and putting them back on Earth to see how they live.
Oh yeah,
Because of all the stuff going down right now with this Atlas 3i being behind the sun. You know, and we went up to Harvard University the other week ourselves, and Avi Loeb is banging on about people need to be paying attention to it, and no one is. It's gone behind the sun, but apparently, right, it's pushing back the sun's the radiation coming from the sun. Whereas if we were up there, we'd burn or we'd melt, and this thing isn't. So the Atlas 3i, guys, if you've started following or not yet, I don't know, but you need to have a look at that Atlas 3i. When it first came along by Jupiter and Mars, they was like thinking it was a meteorite, and then all the way down to the moon, and they were still thinking it was maybe a meteorite, but it's gone behind the back of the sun now, and apparently it's like pushing the radiation back towards the sun. So Professor Avi Loeb from Harvard, who works for NASA, is like really bringing it to everyone's attention, but the NASA are like not releasing much about it because I don't think they really know exactly what it is right now. And when you're out on a starry night like this, you can't help but start thinking, is it all connected? It's cryptids and this, you know, the UFOs and things like that. Is it all one thing? And if you see anything on there, let us know and then we can have a look. There's a low witch out here, guys. All sticks tied together and things. Just the right time too, because it's going to be Halloween next week. I've just found a log, Andy. Do you want another log? Do you want another log? It's a perfectly good log there for burning. Just here up floor. I just found it now. I was filming them branches because it reminds me of Low Witch. They're all tied up. There. That's a burning log. You may as well use it. That's why the things are tied up. Some people have been here with fire pits this summer. It makes you think of Low Witch when you see all this tied up together. It would be Pendle Witch round here though, not Blair Witch. We've just been to Salem, haven't we? So we've done them witches. Yeah, that's perfect. That was a lucky find. Perfect. It did the same as our logs. Good job I had a walk back there. Just trying to film the spooky trees, but it's very, very dark. So it's like I don't think give you guys too much of there's not much to see. So we'll sit back here. And when I finish trashing these logs, we'll just sit and listen out for a bit. I think I just knocked the red light down there. I don't want to move again because I've already knocked everything down once. It's probably somebody's perfectly like a log pile for winter, and I've just knocked it everywhere. You know who it is.
Yep.
You especially know who it is. If we run out of wood, I'll have another look round. So we've hiked a bit of a way up. We've only brought the 3 or 4 pieces, haven't we?
Mm.
Yeah. Very quiet in here tonight, isn't it? But the stars are all up. It's beautiful up there, but because of the trees, I'm not able to pick it up on camera that well. So I suggest what we do is we just, if you take a seat, we'll just talk all things dogman and cryptid in it until see if anything shows itself.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you don't come out, you don't.
I mean, it's what? Well, it's 1 o'clock now, but then they've put the clocks back tonight, so I guess it's like midnight, but we stay out for about 3 hours and then just seeing it. But so many people are seeing so many unusual things now. All over the country really, not just in these parts. It's like there's dogman, there's skinwalkers, there's large cats have been seen, haven't there? Yeah, I mean we never had this, did we?
No.
We were saying just this afternoon when we were showing you guys around on the daytime footage, this cryptid thing's only been sort of like the last decade or so. Alright, there's UFOs have been kind of like a 30, 40, 50 years or whatever, since Roswell really. But cryptids, we've never known, was it?
No. Makes you wonder whether it's down to the way we're living now.
You never know. It's going to take some scientists to explain it, isn't it?
If you think about it, we're getting rid of a lot of rubbish, wasting a lot of food.
Yeah.
So, you look at...
Could be anything, couldn't it?
Foxes you see a lot more of.
Yeah, do you know what really upsets me most is wild birds swooping down and eating like McDonald's chips off floor. Or, then people have just chucked pizzas out and things like that and birds are coming along and eating them. It's like, they shouldn't be eating them things, they should be catching their own food, nuts or the seaside fish or whatever. And they're not, and in Blackpool and all that, the seagulls are just flying down and eating chips and ice creams, and it's just so unhealthy for them, innit?
Yeah.
Not right. That really, I don't like seeing that. Animals eating crap and junk food, and it's all down to us.
Yep.
We're leaving it lying around, people are leaving it lying around and they're coming along and eating it, and it's not what they're meant to have. It's only lately really that duck ponds have started selling seed, haven't they? Duck food and that, they don't put the bread in anymore. We'll just listen out nice and quiet and close. How many torches are splashing? I've got some torch on the blink here. Do you remember the last time we did Dogman? All the stuff started acting up, didn't it?
Yeah.
For some unknown reason. And then you think, oh, is it a paranormal thing? I don't know what to think. All I know is that me and Andy have always been paranormal, we've always done paranormal for the last kind of 15, 17 years, whatever. And this dogman thing, it just kind of crossed our path. And now we're following everybody's channels on cryptoids and dogman and all the sightings, and it's a really big... I didn't realise how big, a thing it really is, and how many people are having experiences. And I really hope that people who are having experiences come forward and talk about it, because it's not an easy thing to talk about if you've had an experience like that. And I hope people do pluck up the courage to just find someone who will listen and say, look, this is what happened to me, and just share their story. Andy's our fire starter. You're going to end up like the Guy Fawkes there in a minute, Andy. If you want someone to come round and sort you out with a good bonfire on bonfire night, Andy's your man. He's our fire starter. You'd be good at looking for the bomb disposal unit. He's obsessed with fire. Must be a sign, Leo, because that's fire sign, isn't it? I love the way he sets his fires up, like he likes to create an explosion. Any minute now. Get ready for it. I'd step back if I were you, Andy. I don't fancy having a real live Guy Fawkes on my hands here. If Dogman don't want to come and have a nosy at this, I don't know what else we can try. The sausages maybe might work. But we'll have to wait till it burns down before we can put them on. Surely some dogman must want to come and warm himself against our fire. Perfect autumn evening as well. Not a cloud in the sky. Is it caught now? Are you happy? It's like a work of art, this, for you, isn't it?
It is a work of art.
It's like some mad experiment. We couldn't get the last one lit, could we? It's about the woods. The wind's blowing through the trees, so sometimes that can make sounds, can't it?
What I do with light today is just making sure you've got enough firelight.
I think what it is, when the wind blows and the trees start creaking. Well, that's what we was talking about. Do you remember we did the paranormal the other week and the trees were creaking, but there was no wind?
Yeah.
So tonight it's like it's windy, so the trees might creak a bit.
Oh yeah.
Just keep an eye out in the woods. It's fine. So, what do you think about that the moon could possibly be hollow?
If it was hollow, right, like people say, it must be man-made, right? But like people say, when there's an eclipse, it's the perfect shape. So, is it that it wasn't hollow? Yeah, yes.
Can you hear something? It might just be deers. Or it might be that fire hissing actually. I thought I could hear something back there, but it might just be deers creeping up having a nosy. It might actually be that fire. Yeah, but what they were saying is that the moon shouldn't actually be there at all. These astrophysicists and these scientists and all that have been doing like diagrams and all this and mock, solar system things and saying like the moon shouldn't even be there at all, because Jupiter's moons are tiny,
Yeah.
and other planets that have got moons, the moons are tiny, and our moon is way too big, and it couldn't have been pulled in by our gravity and held there. Apparently, this is what the scientists are saying. The moon, it's been fixed in place. It shouldn't actually be there. Naturally, it's not possible that it can be there. I was fascinated with it. You fell asleep, and I was absolutely fascinated with what they were saying about it.
But the moon has an influence on the tides, the seasons. So
Has it been purposely placed there?
Has it been purposely put there to give us the environment we live in? That's what you've got to ask.
And that brings us
That will bring us back to the point.
Are we one experiment?
That
Are we being developed and grown by UFO aliens?
I think.
You know, like, they want the perfect planet and the perfect different animals and species and us. And then, so they've got to keep the planet in the best condition they can.
Well, it's like,
and this moon, by all accounts, is not meant to be there at all. It's the wrong size. It's in the wrong location and everything for its size.
You know, maybe one of the reasons.
Seriously, somebody's creeping about over there. Alright, it might just be an animal. Over in that direction, behind that torch. Do you want to take the therm and just have a look over there? Yeah, that way. I keep hearing it. When we start talking, well, I think it's a deer creeping up. Or it might be a fox or something, maybe. If it were anything large, it would making more noise. Just check it out in it and see if you can see anything. The therm will pick up animals. Every time we start talking, I hear like something creeping up, but I'm thinking it's just deer, because we did see a handful of deer this afternoon, and they are really nocturnal. And this is what happens. It's when you're doing something else that these things happen, when you're not concentrating on it. Them guys we were talking to in Boston were saying the same thing. They said, when we go fishing, then Bigfoot will turn up. When we go Bigfooting, there's no sign of him like anywhere. But when we go fishing, and then suddenly there he is. So it's the same thing. It's like, if you go out looking, it's probably not going to turn up because it knows you're looking. But if you just sit here chilling out, having a fire pit and talking about whatever, this and that, then you've got a chance of something turning up. And usually, like if we was to start doing a ghost thing, you know, a paranormal thing, probably we would get something else. It's weird. What you're looking for, you don't get, and the opposite to what you're looking for turns up. That's what I've found since we've been doing YouTube. It's, you look for ghosts and this sort of thing turns up, and then you go looking for UFOs and cryptids, and then ghosts turn up. Are you getting anything on that? I'll come up and have a look. Are you getting something? Alright, so what are you seeing?
Like a yellowish.
Yellow? What does yellow mean?
Can you see that?
Oh god, that was red then.
So I don't know whether
Something red picked up just then. Now unless there's a deer walking about back there, which if there is, we're going to see its eyes.
Heat socks over there. But
Yeah, but it might be it could be a deer.
I don't know.
It could be a deer.
That's just
But it keeps glowing red every now and then, doesn't it?
yeah.
But really, we've not heard any sound apart from feet.
It doesn't look like a figure, but it's not constant, so...
That's really... I'll keep my eyes open, because if we get any eye shine, like that torchlight, we know that's going to be deer. Because they do have a very bright eye shine, deer. It's like two torches shining back. If it was anything else, I think we'd probably get like hear a growl or something. It just sounded like something rustling in the leaves, but then, you know, there's probably like moles and foxes and other animals out here. Let's just listen out for a bit, innit? I'll just shine the torch up to see if I can see anything. I mean, what would you do now if something like Dogman did come forward? What would you do? I don't know what I'd do. I think I'd just freeze with the fear, to be honest. I don't think I'd even be able to run. I actually think I'd just freeze, petrify. I'm hoping it was just a deer. I know we've come out here looking for dogmen, but then when you're actually in these woods, you don't actually want him to turn up. You actually hope it's going to be deer. Because I think it's that fear thing, innit? What do we do? We've had this conversation so many times now. And there isn't anything.
I just want to get a perspective looking at you through this, and I can clearly see, even though you're not right there.
Yeah. Maybe it was deer. I mean, I heard like feet walking about, so I'm guessing that it's probably going to be deer. I think if it was anything else, it would be growling or something, making itself known. If it was anything else, I think it would be. Keep quiet a minute and listen. I heard something over there. I think it's deer, Andy. I think it is. I think they're just wandering about, nosing. Yeah, I'm pretty certain it's deer. I'm getting anything on that.
Nothing that.
You hear it now and again, don't you?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure it's going to be deer.
No,
Oh, you seen something over there?
sort of like.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a deer.
Oh, no, I think it's just lights from down there.
Oh yeah, there is some light, backlights.
Yeah, it's what was.
Yeah, maybe it was deers. Well, no, because we'll come back round again to have a look. Do you think cryptids can affect the equipment?
From what I've known, and the fact that they can cloak themselves and be still there, and you not be still be seen on a thermal camera, but not be seen on a normal camera, I think it's possible.
I think so.
Because there's been instances where people have been seeing the figure beside a tree on a thermal camera, and then when they've just put it on a normal night vision camera, there's nothing there, and they've shone a torch over there and there's nothing there, yet the figure is still on a thermal imaging camera, it's still there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think, and maybe they've got senses and stuff that they can do that over time we've lost the ability to do.
Maybe, yeah.
You know, people say we've all got the ability to, you know, psychic ability and different abilities. It's just that over the years we've lost that ability to be able to use those senses. Although they're still there, we've just lost that ability to use them.
Yeah.
And only certain people been able to tap into it. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I do think, but that fascinated me. And I'm off a different thing now. So when we were going through that Natural History Museum,
Yeah.
and we're going through the stages of
Evolution
from the first humans to where we are today, and you get to one period and then that suddenly goes extinct, and then you've got us, and you're like, well, how did we get from there?
There's a missing link in there.
And it's like, I know people keep saying it's this missing link, but
what was his
it
theory?
starts to make you think now.
What really was his theory?
Darwin had that theory of the missing link, and he obviously was pretty certain of what that missing link was.
He was, and he weren't allowed to publish it.
Now, the thing is, and I'm going back to this again, I know people will say I'm sick of hearing you going on about the church and stuff like that, but, right, if we were to say that missing link from Neanderthals or whatever they were before to us was alien, that would destroy that biblical thing of that man was created from Adam and Eve, and that would destroy the church.
Yeah, it would.
The church has, I mean, people don't realise how much the church, especially the Catholic Church, how much power they have.
Yeah. And he wasn't allowed to publish his theory, Charles Darwin.
This is my point.
That's why he had to come up with the missing link. He'd filled in the missing link, and he wasn't. They said you can't publish it. It's too outrageous.
No, because he couldn't, because it would destroy. It would destroy what the equilibrium of life as we have it now. Some people's lives will be ruined, and you sit here and you discuss this and you say this, that, and the other. But would we want that?
I'd like to know what the missing link is.
As much as I would like to know, and somebody to say actually the missing link was alien.
Well, I personally think that was Darwin's theory.
And you think, what effect would that have on the world?
Exactly.
Would it make the world a better place, or would it just?
It would explain a lot.
Destroy everything, because it would destroy literally every religion that we have.
But it would explain a lot.
It would basically, anybody who's very religious, it would destroy the whole thoughts on life, because there would be no God, no gods, whatever religion you believed in, pagan, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, you know, it would just destroy it. Hindus, everything, it would just destroy everything, because there would be no gods. Those gods would be aliens.
Just gonna have a little walk up here where we heard them noises before, so I'm thinking it's deer anyway. But just in case it's something we need to be checking out, we'll have a little wander. While Andy's poking the fire and ranting about God, now's a good time to go for a little walk. It'll be all hellfire and damnation by the time I get back. Saw a lot of deer up here this afternoon. It's pretty obvious being a forest, but see, you hear my foot snap that twig then, so sometimes when you're hearing like twigs snapping in the background, it's just deers walking over them. They're just breaking the branches same like we do when we're walking. And I think sometimes when you're out in the woods in the middle of the night, it can startle you that. Particularly if you're on a mission, to find something. To look for something that's already freaked you out once at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's, when you hear them kinds of sounds. We'll have a little wander up here. If there is deer, we'll hear them scatter. They're probably having a look at what we're doing here, but probably if people have had fire pits here before, they'll know there's food going on. They're clever when it comes to food animals. They will lurk about. where they think they're going to get fed. Just to show you, we really are in the thick of the woods. We're throwing ourselves right in now. Where we was at Tuckholes was pretty bad enough because it was a derelict building and all that. But yeah, we're getting out here in the thick of the woods now and doing it on a regular basis. Whether we get anything or we don't, there's Andy there with the fire pit. If we don't get anything, then we can all sit and talk about all things cryptoid and alien. You know, and you can rant at the television and share our views, or you can rant at the television and disagree with our views, or whatever it is you think and feel. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. You know, and who's to say whose opinion's right and whose is wrong, because no one knows. What I always say is, anything is possible until it can be proved that it's not possible at all. Whatever the theory is. So I've not seen any deers en route. But they've probably scattered off a bit now, as we've been talking and making a bit of noise. I'm sure they'll come back in a bit. They're probably hanging around if they know people have been up here before with fire pits and there's been food. It's probably been like an all-you-can-eat buffet for a minute through summer. That's perhaps why they've been... I think it was deer that was hanging around. Yeah, so what happened with Charles Darwin? He paid a captain of a ship to go around the world. He wanted to go to all the islands, the Caribbean islands, the Bahamas, the Hawaiian islands, and all the way around to the South Pacific islands. He wanted to study all the different peoples, indigenous peoples, to see if he could come up with this theory of his missing link. So whilst he was on board this ship, travelling the world, he made his theory of evolution, and then he showed the captain on the ship, and the captain said, "You cannot produce this theory, it is absolutely outrageous." He said, "Don't associate the name of my ship or me with this theory when you get back to London." So he returned to London and he went to see the scientists and the government and said, "Right, I've completed my theory of evolution and this is what I think." And he rolled out his theory, and they were like absolutely astounded by what he produced, and they were like, "You can't publish that." And he said, "Well, what do you want me to publish then?" They said, "You can publish it as there is a missing link." They wouldn't let him publish, and those theories of Charles Darwin are now in the basement of the British Museum somewhere in the archives. So you know, we'll never know unless somebody can get him out of there, and you know, we could find out that way. But I personally think he came up with the idea of an alien was the missing link. So the captain of the ship didn't take it too well. He went absolutely mad and ended up in Bedlam Hospital or something after that. So it was, yeah, in those days it was widely unaccepted. Today, anybody's like theory can go, you know, really. But back in those days, it was, a lot of things were totally just taboo and unaccepted. I've noticed whenever we're busy, you're stoking the fire and I'm talking to camera. That's when you hear the noises coming round in the background.
Yeah.
Did you hear again the twigs breaking?
Yeah.
So I think these animals, it's like when they know we're busy and not paying attention, they'll come around.
It's true though.
But I think if you lived out here permanently in a tent and cook your food, your breakfast and your evening meal or whatever, those deers would get used to you, and I think they would eventually become tame. If they knew that they could come near you and you could feed them and they weren't going to harm them and all that, it's like all other animals. Once they've built the confidence up, they become tame.
Yeah. It's true though.
So if these deers are used to coming round in summer and people camping and leaving them bits of food, they might actually have become a little bit tame now, used to it. Because them deers we saw this afternoon, they didn't really run off in fright like deers normally did do. They kind of like stood looking at us for a bit. You know, so it's... Perhaps they're used to people then. Because here you can hike up onto the tops there, Winter Hill, and get a really good view of the stars and stuff. Or during the daytime you can hike up there and get a good view. But the thing is, like, they've found things buried in rocks now that go back way before we lived here, human beings. I'm wondering how they got there. There's like, they found, I think it's in somewhere like the canyon, buried in the rocks there, a hammer made with a wooden handle and a metal head. And they've dated it back to like before the dinosaurs. And it's like, who was here then and how did that get made? How did that... Was there another race on this planet even before the dinosaurs? Until we start finding some fossils and you know, some things, we're not going to know, are we, that really?
Of course.
But some of the stuff that I mean, when we looked around the Smithsonian the other week, some of the stuff they found, because I think all the weird and bizarre things end up in the Smithsonian, don't they?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of stuff is on display for people to see, but some of the stuff is just there for professors to study. But anything bizarre that turns up in the world that can't be explained generally ends up at the Smithsonian Museum, except obviously the UFO stuff, which goes to Area 51, I think. But I mean, it's like, sitting here like this just makes you think of Rendlesham Forest, doesn't it, in the south, where them guys were just patrolling that night in 1980 and the UFO just come down and landed, that black triangular thing, and then they went up to it and they got that binary code from it, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean...
And the binary code,
thing is,
it said something like exploring humanity, something to do with saving the earth.
Saving the earth. Yeah.
So the guys who were involved in that now, because they get interviewed now, were saying that they think it's more likely to be people from the future coming back, not really aliens.
Exploration of mankind.
Because they give them a year, it said something like 8,100.
Yeah.
Which is like, and what we're like 2025, aren't we?
Mm.
So it's 6,000 years ahead.
Exploration of mankind ongoing or something like
Yeah.
that.
So that Rendlesham Forest incident, because that black triangular craft that landed,
yeah,
nothing got out of it, or nobody got out of it, did it? And then it just took off, and then it come back a couple of days later.
Yeah.
But I think the guys who are involved in it now that they've sat and examined all the evidence, are saying now that they do believe it was a time machine rather than an alien craft.
Yeah.
Because of the messages that they got through with it. So anything could happen anywhere at any time, couldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
For anybody, really. Even people who don't believe, you know, the skeptics and the disbelievers. If they have an experience like that, then it's going to change their whole attitude on it.
Of course it would. Of course it would.
I think the people who are afraid don't open their minds and accept it. You know, when I've been talking about dogman and stuff, yeah, you get people rolling their eyes and going, oh, you know, and it's like, yeah, but you have to be there and hear it to know what we're talking about. And if you were out there at 3 o'clock in the morning and heard them sounds, you would have second thoughts and you would start believing in this stuff. Because I was a bit sceptical about cryptid at first. Like I still am about imps and fairies, really. But I know so many people believe in them, so I respect that.
I think it's like a lot of things, isn't it? So people can be have an interest in it, but you never really fully believe it until you've had that experience. No matter,
Changes your outlook.
It's the same with everything. Even if you're doing the paranormal, you can believe there's stuff there, but in your head you never totally believe until you've had some sort of experience, do you?
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
And it's the same with the dogman, Bigfoot, or whatever, cryptids. You don't take it serious. You don't fully take it seriously until you've experienced something. You may only experience once, maybe twice, but you still got that experience there of something that nobody can explain to you what it is.
Yeah.
And I think some ways you sort of, because you so want to know the answers, you want to know what you
Oh my God, Andy.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why so many people become obsessed with it.
Yeah, it is.
You do, because you're searching for an answer that nobody can give you. Because majority of people think you're just a lunatic and you're making it up. And then the other people who believe it, they can't tell you what it is either, because they've had experiences and nobody can tell them. So I think it's a fine line. A lot of people just think you're off your tree and you're making it up, you know. And you think, well, I've got evidence there. And then you'll always get the people who go, yeah, but you could have made that up. And you think, well, yeah, all right, fair enough. But if we were going to make them shocking noises up...
How though could we do that?
No, but just doing it out there. If we were going to make that up, I'd have made it a bit longer.
But I don't see how...
And do you know what I mean?
Unless we've pinched some sound effects from Jurassic Park, and I haven't a clue to do any of that. You know what I'm saying? We got what we got, and we heard what we heard, and that is it. And we picked it up a little bit of it on the camera.
I think you can always tell when people have made it up is by the reaction of the situation.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say, if anybody said to me, "Oh, you made all that up," I would say to them, "Well, tell you what, take that video to one of these forensic psychologists, and let them have a look at it, and they will tell you our reactions are reactions of somebody who is experiencing that situation.
Yeah.
What somebody experiences when they're genuinely scared." And we were.
Yeah.
We were genuinely.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know.
So we're going to play that footage at the end of this video anyway, the 5 minutes of shocking noises which we picked up at Tockles. I know a lot of you probably have, and I know a lot of you have already seen and heard it, but this is for the viewers that are coming along and new subscribers that haven't seen or heard it. We're putting it on again so that they get the chance to hear it.
And I think one of the reasons we're putting it on again for people to hear it is because people who haven't heard it, maybe we'll get that one person who
can say I've heard it.
Maybe give us some sort of answers, or has heard similar, who can give us some sort of answers to what this could be. I mean, if it is something that is there, and it's a genuine something that's natural to this land, then great. I'm not going to quibble with that. But nobody seems to be able to do that. But if somebody has any ideas, any thoughts on it, I'd really, really love to hear.
I'd even like to hear that somebody had heard the same noises and doesn't know what it is either.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that can be identified.
Whatever it is, isn't an animal that should be here.
No.
As far as I'm concerned, it was it wasn't the dog. 90% certain it wasn't a dog. There were two of them, and there were two of them that one was close to us and the other was in the distance. And once they seemed to have found each other, it seemed to go off. Now, I've never heard anything like that. I mean, I even looked up wild boars.
Yeah, just in case.
It's not even anything.
Yeah. See, I got the feeling from the noises they were making, because they was like barking and howling, it was like that they'd lost each other and they were moving closer to one another, and then when they found each other, the noises all stopped, as if they were relieved, because there was... But it was like a barking, shrieking howl. I mean, we didn't record all the footage because we cut the cameras up. We switched everything off and just sat quiet because we didn't want anything coming at us. We just didn't know what it was, and it's like self-preservation, protection in it. But the 5 minutes we have caught, for those people who haven't seen it yet, we're going to add it on at the end of this video anyway. What did you hear?
Hey, people talking.
I didn't hear anything. I didn't really listen because I was messing with the camera.
Oh, there's somebody talking.
Really?
We hit someone.
Well, we'll know if anyone's out for a walk because we'll see torches. Maybe people just doing some night walking, running or whatever. I was messing with the camera, so I wasn't listening. I was trying to line up a shot, but Saturday night, innit? Because some people could be out late just having a drink and stuff.
It could have been down there.
Well, they might be at the bottom,
I
but
don't know. No, I didn't heard it again. I don't know whether it's from down there.
maybe
Could be.
we'll keep rolling a minute anyway in case anything.
I definitely heard somebody.
What did it sound like?
Two people.
Could be people going down the main path. There is like a main path, and we've come off the main path.
That's it. I couldn't say what it was from, but it could have been from down there.
No,
It's carried
people's
on.
alright. It's when we hear growls, innit? We're worrying about stuff.
It's carried on.
Maybe.
I've not heard it again.
These people will ask if have you had any
That's
strange encounters in these woods. Sometimes we do run into people at night in these places.
Oh yeah. I've not heard it again, so
There could be some people out having a barbecue in back, you know, because it's quite mild now.
like I say, it could have been from down here.
And it's half term, the kids are off.
It could have been from down
And it's going to be Halloween next week, so... Though it might be half term after Halloween, I'm not sure. Oh, I can hear voices, they're way down there. They're at the bottom.
Like I say, it was hard to. I heard the voices and it was hard to say, but I'll say it could have come from down the bottom.
Yeah, it's not
It
up
could have
here.
been from down the bottom and it's carried up, so. Because it is quiet, so it's
Probably a party or something.
it could be carried.
In which case, you know what we're going to do, right? We're going to gate crash. The wedding crashers. We nearly wedding crashed. We nearly wedding crashed 2 weddings, didn't we? At the Fairmont in Washington.
God.
I mean, we were dressed up, so we could have gate crashed quite easy.
You probably could have one of them. Just walked in.
Yeah, it's down there. There's people shouting. I hope it's not that mud block from Astley Hall. Do you remember the mud block in the woods? It won't be that block because that's miles away from here. There's someone shouting. It might be someone with a dog. Okay guys, so we're heading back down now. Been here a few hours now and we haven't got anything. We've run out of logs, the fire pit's burnt down. So we're going to head back down through the woods now. Getting back to the road, as you can hear, cars beeping now, so we're not that far off. So as we always say, you've got to be out here to do it, and if you don't come out and do it, then you're never going to find it. And even if you get nights like this where you're just sitting chatting by the fire, then it's nice to be out anyway and enjoy the autumn and enjoy being under the stars. And we'll do, you know, as much as we can. We'll get out here and film in the woods, different woods around Lancashire where people are having these cryptid encounters.
You do it so you don't have to.
Yeah. So I think, Andy, we'll say good night.
Oh,
Yeah. So from oops, sorry about that, guys. So from one of Dogman's Lancashire forests, there's about 4 or 5 of them in total regions. We'll thank you for watching, and we'll thank you for subscribing.
Thank
And
you.
hit that like button if you like what we do, and please share it with other people.
Oh yeah.
And take care of yourselves, and we'll see you all very
Have a good
soon.
one.
We'll be on a paranormal for Halloween, but we're loading up some of the spooky stuff we did in the States as well, so
Yeah.
there'll be a bit of a mix coming. So
Oh,
take care, we'll see you all very soon.
bye.
And we're going to run that footage now, the shocking noises.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'm off on my own to the haunted well. I might not be saying that in 5 minutes time when I'm walking up there on my own, but like I said last week, it's probably me the one who'll be legging it. But here we go, onwards and upwards. Blah. Okay, there we go. I'll probably get lost me anyway. Okay, let's have a wander. Where are we going? What's this? Oh, it involves steps and oh god, oh shit. I'm a bit I don't know. I'm not going in the right direction. There it is, I suppose, the haunted well. I'll try and not be an idiot and camera it like I did the other week. Oh, interesting. Oh, wow. Shit, it's open. Oh my god. It's not locked. It's like somebody. Oh, where is it? That's weird. Okay. Has anybody got any messages for me? As well. Okay. Oh.
Yes, I'm listening.
Are you listening? Okay. Right. Who are you? What's your name? Who are you? What's your name?
I will talk to you.
I know you will, but who are you? You need to give me a name.
It's about to begin.
What's about to begin?
You're making a mistake.
I'm not. I know, I'll turn it off now.
Just leave it.